President Trump's gold card proposal is back in the headlines, and if you're on an EB-5 visa or considering one, you need to understand what's changing as we head further into 2026. Because the immigration landscape for investors and entrepreneurs is shifting, and the decisions you make now will determine whether you can stay in the United States of America or get forced out. Here's what you need to know. The EB-5 program is being reformed. Trump's administration is pushing for merit-based immigration changes, and the compliance requirements for business visas are getting stricter, not looser. I'm going to walk you through where EB-5 visas actually stand in January 2026, what Trump's gold card proposal means, and how to navigate the changing landscape into 2026. I'm John Conrad with Numeratus. We're a white glove accounting firm, and we specialize in E2 and EB-5 compliance. Everything you can imagine a big firm doesn't want to touch. Complex business structures for visa holders, profitability requirements, documentation for renewals. That's what we do. We've worked with over a dozen visa holders navigating renewals, restructuring businesses to meet requirements, and preparing for immigration reviews. We understand both the accounting side and the immigration side. And that brings us to point number one, what Trump's gold card actually is and what it isn't. Let me clear up the confusion about Trump's gold card proposal, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. What it is: Trump's gold card proposal is a merit-based immigration pathway for high-skilled workers, entrepreneurs, and investors. The idea is to automatically grant green cards to foreign nationals who meet certain criteria, like graduating from U.S. universities, starting successful businesses, or making significant investments. Gold card would essentially fast-track permanent residency for people who contribute to the United States economy. But it isn't. It's not a replacement for the EB-5 program. It's not a guaranteed path for everyone, and it's not implemented yet. It's still a proposal being discussed. Where it stands in January 2026. Trump's administration is pushing for immigration reform, but comprehensive legislation takes time. A gold card concept is being discussed in Congress, but no specific bill has passed yet. What this means for you, if you're on an EB-5 visa or considering one, don't wait for the gold card. Focus on the programs that actually exist right now. Point number two, the current EB-5 landscape, where things stand in 2026. The EB-5 program is the actual pathway available right now for investors seeking permanent residency. And it's going through significant changes as we enter 2026. What EB-5 is: the EB-5 Immigrant Investor Program allows foreign nationals to obtain a green card by investing in a U.S. business that creates jobs. The standard investment amount is about $1 million or $800,000 in targeted employment areas. There's been recent changes. The EB-5 Reform and Integrity Act of 2022 made significant changes to the program, including reserved visa categories for rural and high unemployment areas, increased investment amounts, adjusted for inflation of course, and enhanced integrity measures to prevent fraud. And this brings about processing times. EB-5 processing times vary significantly based on your country of origin. Investors from China or India face longer wait times due to per-country caps. Investors from other countries can often get processed much faster. And there's compliance requirements. The key to EB-5 success is demonstrating that your investment created or will create at least 10 full-time jobs for U.S. workers. This requires detailed documentation, proper business structure, and ongoing compliance. For example, an investor entering the EB-5 program in 2026 needs to invest about $1 million in a targeted area. They need to demonstrate that the investment will create 10 jobs, maintain the investment for the required period, and document everything meticulously. Many EB-5 applications fail, not because the investment isn't legitimate, but because their documentation is inadequate. And that brings us to point number three, the E2 to EB-5 pathway, a common strategy. Many investors use E2 visas as a stepping stone for EB-5 green cards. Understanding the pathway is critical for 2026 planning. And here are the E2 visa basics. The E2 Treaty Investor Visa allows nationals of certain countries to live and work in the United States. based on a substantial investment in a United States business. Unlike EB-5, E2 doesn't lead directly to a green card. It's a non-immigrant visa that must be renewed. So you might ask, why E2 first? E2 visas are faster to obtain, months over years. They require lower investment amounts, typically $100,000 to $200,000, and allow you to test your business before committing to an EB-5 visa. The transition strategy: many investors start with an E2 visa, build a successful business, then transition to an EB-5 once the business is established and can demonstrate job creation. And then that brings us to the compliance challenge. Both E2 and EB-5 have strict requirements. E2 requires that your business be substantial and not marginal, meaning it must generate more than just a living for you. EB-5 requires job creation. For example, an investor might enter the United States on an E2 visa with a $200,000 investment in a consulting business. They build the business over 2 to 3 years, demonstrating profitability and growth. Then they transition to an EB-5 visa by expanding the business, hiring 10 full-time employees, and meeting the investment threshold. This strategy works, but it requires proper planning and documentation from day one. By the way, we help visa holders navigate this transition at Numeratus. We ensure your business meets E2 requirements while positioning you for eventual EB-5 eligibility. But let's get back into it. Now we're here at point number 4, the 2026 compliance reality. Requirements are getting stricter. As we enter 2026, compliance requirements for business visas are getting stricter, not looser. This means enhanced scrutiny. Immigration officers are scrutinizing business visa applications more carefully. They're looking for businesses that are generally substantial, not just vehicles for obtaining visas. And then there's the financial documentation. You need to demonstrate profitability, not just revenue. Immigration officers want to see that your business generates sufficient income to support you and your family without being marginal. And then there's the job creation verification. For EB-5, immigration officers are verifying that jobs were actually created and maintained. They're checking payroll records, tax filings, and employee documentation. And of course, there's the ongoing compliance. Even after your visa is approved, you need to maintain compliance. If your business fails or stops meeting requirements, your visa status is at risk. For example, an E2 visa holder might be making $200,000 in revenue, but only $30,000 in profit. Their accountant tells them they're profitable, so they think they're fine. But immigration officers might consider $30,000 profit marginal, barely providing a living. At renewal, they could be denied. Or an EB-5 investor might claim they created 10 jobs, but immigration officers discovered that several were part-time or contract positions. They don't count towards the requirement of full-time status. The key is understanding the specific requirements and ensuring your business actually meets them, not just on paper, but in reality. Now we start to put everything together. This brings us to point number 5, how Trump's policies affect business visas in 2026. The Trump administration is focused on merit-based immigration, which affects how business visas are evaluated in 2026. So you might ask, why is the merit-based such a focus? The administration wants immigrants who contribute to the U.S. economy. This actually benefits legitimate business visa holders who are creating jobs and generating economic activity. And there's a fraud crackdown. The administration is cracking down on visa fraud. This means enhanced scrutiny of applications, more site visits, and stricter enforcement. And will there be faster processing? Maybe. There's a talk of streamlining visa processing for legitimate applicants. This hasn't been implemented yet. It's only talk. And then there's the policy uncertainty. Immigration policy can change quickly. What's true in December 2025 or January 2026 might be different in June 2026. For example, a legitimate EB-5 investor who's actually creating jobs and contributing to the economy should benefit from Trump's merit-based focus. Immigration officers will prioritize their applications, but an investor trying to game the system with a marginal business or questioning job creation will face enhanced scrutiny and likely denial. The key is to be genuinely compliant, not just technically compliant. Point 6. How to navigate 2026 to position ourselves for success. Here's how. If you're considering EB-5, don't wait for the gold card. Use the EB-5 program that exists right now. Invest in a legitimate business that will create real jobs. Document everything meticulously. Work with professionals who understand both immigration and business requirements. If you're on an E2 visa, ensure your business meets profitability requirements. Document that it's a substantial and not a marginal plan for renewal well in advance. Consider transitioning to an EB-5 visa if your business is successful. If you're planning the E2 to EB-5 pathway, structure your business correctly from day one. Build genuine profitability and job creation. Keep detailed financial records. Work with accountants who understand visa requirements. And one of the most overlooked and hard things to decipher in the digital age is to actually stay informed about policy changes. Maintain ongoing compliance, not just as application or renewal time comes. Work with professionals who specialize in business visas. Don't cut corners. The scrutiny is too high. For example, an investor entering 2026 on an E2 visa should be working with an accountant who understands that immigration officers care about profit margins, not just revenue. They should be documenting their business operations, maintaining proper financial records, and planning for either renewal or EB-5 transition. An investor considering EB-5 in 2026 should be working with immigration attorneys and accountants who can structure the investment correctly, ensure job creation requirements are met, and document everything for immigration officers. The landscape is changing, but the fundamentals remain. Genuine businesses that create jobs and contribute to the economy will succeed. Marginal businesses trying to game the system will fail. Look, the immigration landscape for investors and entrepreneurs is changing as we enter 2026. Trump's gold card is being discussed. EB-5 is being reformed, and compliance requirements are getting stricter. This video showed you where things actually stand and how to navigate the changes. The before and the after. The bridge to actually staying compliant and positioning for success is where Numeratus comes in. The immigration game is changing. Gold card talk is just that, talk. EB-5 is real, and compliance is tougher than ever. Want insider updates and strategies? Go to numeratus.org for $100 a month to ask my team questions. Learn how to be a founder of your dreams and demystifying what it really means to be an entrepreneur in the United States of America. The choice is yours and will start and end with you. If you're already a business owner and need hands-on help with E2 or EB-5 compliance, book a call at numeratus.us. We can talk as soon as possible. We specialize in making sure your business meets visa requirements. No shortcuts, no surprises.